Again, I'm Kenny Burns, and I'm here to host the Exploring Cancer Prevention Breakthrough Treatment and Survivorship conversation. And I'd like to welcome Jordan Pursglove to the stage. Jordan, are you there, my brother? He's the CEO of Lixt Biotechnology. How are you? You good? Jordan also is the sponsor for the event, so say thank you, please. Again, thank you for a round of applause. Thank you, thank you. We appreciate you. And the man of the hour, make the ladies scream and holler. Please put your hands together for Corey Smith. Corey Smith, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing, brother? This is my real brother. We actually started here on Morehouse's campus.
Yes, sir. Yes.
He actually attended and knows the actual song. He sung it today, which is proof he learned it those many years ago. How does it feel to be back home, Corey?
It feels great. It feels great. It feels like we have a real purpose in being here, and it's kind of full circle.
It's very full circle.
Very full circle. Yeah, like who knew?
And if you don't know, Corey is a cancer survivor. Can I hear some round of applause for beating cancer?
Yes,
Dream
yes, sir.
is real.
Yes, sir.
And Jordan actually has a company, and I'll let him tell you more about it, that helps people on their journey with cancer.
Yeah, so I'm the CEO and chairman of a company called Lixt Biotechnology Holdings, and we have two exciting pieces of technology to treat cancer. One of them is our flagship asset, which is LB100, which is a PP2A inhibitor. I know what you're thinking. What's a PP2A inhibitor?
What's a PP2A
right?
inhibitor?
So PP2A is the enzyme that cancer hijacks as kind of its circuit breaker or its shield early on. So what ends up happening is that it gets to sit there and make itself perfect to fight the body, right? So what we do is when you block PP2A, cancer now is more receptive to the treatment. So it's an add-on to immune therapy, chemotherapy, things of that nature. So what's really exciting about that asset is we actually have third parties paying for our drug trials, which never happens. We work with GSK, Roche, and MD Anderson, which have been great partners with helping us with the drug trials. So we're really excited for that. And then we recently bought a company called Leora Technologies, which is it's actually a medical device company that uses proton accelerator technology to treat tumors. And the objective of that asset is to take the word inoperable out of people's vocabulary when it comes to cancer treatment. So we're very excited about it.
Exactly. Amazing work, yeah, actually. And Corey, you found out you had cancer when, and tell us briefly of your journey with the disease.
It's I think my journey in life has just been timing. And if I could have found cancer at the perfect time, I did. I was feeling like a little tingling in my shoulder, and I thought I was stressed out from work and just what was going on in my life at that time. And I went and went to the doctor, and he told me to go get an MRI. I went and got an MRI to see if my shoulder was acting up, or if I was having a stroke or something, and they found a mass in my throat.
Wow.
And when they found the mass in my throat, they were like, it's probably nothing. You have masses in your body. If you knew all the masses you have in your body, you'd be shocked. So
freaked out.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, I'm fine. Then they're like, we're going to do an ultrasound. So they did an ultrasound, and they're like, it's coming back a little funky. We're going to need to do a needle biopsy. So they numbed my neck up, and then they stuck this needle in my neck, jabbed me up a few times, and came back, and I had follicular thyroid cancer.
Wow.
And I thought to myself, nah, not me. Let me get a second choice. Let me get a second opinion. I called Dr. Sam Daniels, who's a family friend who was the head over at Harlem Hospital. And Sam was like, what's your doctor's name? Oh, yeah, he's like the leading doctor in L.A.
Best one.
Yeah, you need to just man up and listen to what this man's telling you, because if he says you have it, you got it. And I caught it early, stage 1, which is really good. And I'm cancer-free, and I feel blessed. And,
Amazing.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
One of the things, and I'm going to come to you, Jordan, right after I say this to him, one of the things Corey did not do was tell everybody.
No.
And I think, we lost Clark Kent to cancer.
Yeah.
And one of the things I used to get on Tony about was, why didn't you say something, right? Even when he found out. And I think because of your relationships, sometimes there's, opportunity. Speak to that.
Yeah, I think I'll speak for me as a black man. I think I felt the responsibility early on. I think my relationship with my mother created a responsibility. My mom and dad got divorced when I was around 1. And I think I felt very much as a person who was there to support her unknowingly. Not that my mom was downtrodden. My mom was a very successful person, but I think I felt responsibility. So informing people that I had cancer felt like I was going to be a downer. Like the family came together at Thanksgiving. It was like, am I going to tell everyone then? I was like, nah, who's going to ruin Thanksgiving? So then I waited and I told everyone after Christmas, but I knew since September, October. So I just waited. And then I was having the surgery December 29th, but I didn't tell anyone until December 26th. So that's like all those months go by. But I think I've learned that it's important to use your community and use the support system around you because you're not a downer. You're not a burden. And I think that I had to learn that. And I'm still learning that I'm not a burden on people because it's just, I think your natural inclination is you don't want to weigh someone else down. You don't want to make someone else feel sad for you. And then there's another part of it, which is a little bit selfish. You also don't want to have to explain it to everybody.
It's a constant reminder every time you have to tell another person.
When you're trying to figure it out in your own mind, what you're dealing with. Like, how am I concentrating on my daughters and showing up for them? How am I concentrating on preparing for whatever this may be the hurdles that I'm going to have to, navigate?
Right.
So.
And Jordan, you impressed the shit out of me. We had a conversation. You're in the drug development business, and you literally said on the phone call that it's really not about being successful in it, right? It's finding cures, and you'd rather find cures than to keep the machine going. And I just want to give you your flowers for saying that because most people would be about the money and not about the actual health. What has changed with that thought process in your business?
Well, the hardest thing for me is I've been in business a long time. I've never been in the biotech space. Never been, so the purpose of our business is to, cure cancer, hopefully, right? So, but for me to be successful in my business, somebody has to get sick, right? So I'm serving two masters to where I have, this fiduciary duty to the corporation that I have to drive value, I have to, do this, do that, share price, everything else. But as a child of God, I have to do it for the community. I have to
Amen.
you know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things to where it's, how do I have a job, but it's not me, right? And then remembering that on the other end of that balance sheet, there's a human there, right? So he, this is a great example of a man that had to go through one of the worst times of his life for my company to have purpose, right? It's crazy to think about that, to shepherd this technology. And then the other thing is when we get certified, someone's going to show up with the check. And what happens when, from the corporate side of me, I have a job to say yes to that $3 billion check, right? Or whatever the number it is. But the human side of me is this the right partner to where it doesn't go on their balance sheet and now we have a $30,000 per dose drug that people don't have access to?
And that's actually scary when you think about getting treated because for generations, this has been the scariest disease until obviously AIDS and HIV came along. But, people are actually beating cancer. Yeah. How close are we to finding a cure for cancer? Because it seems like you just broke down the RAA, AAA, NAAC. What did you say?
PP2A inhibitor.
The PP.
You got it close enough.
Exactly, but that is like, if you know what causes it, what the thing is that gets to the thing that makes the thing, it's like, can't we eradicate it?
I think we are very close, right? And part of it starts is what I want people to understand is that sickness doesn't happen overnight, right? It's accumulative, so it's a little by little by little and all at once. So what I really wanted to get out of this was hopefully somebody leaves here and gets tested, right? Get your blood work done, go get your panels done, all of that stuff. See where you're at. Yeah. Because the best cure for cancer right now is early detection, right? That's your best defense right now.
Like you said, you got diagnosed early.
And I think that also diet, right?
Speak to that because, what the fuck is in the food?
Yeah, I think the diet part is something that we ignore. I think we tend to just assume it's always going to be okay. And I think that we consume so much stuff that just can't be good for you, right? And I don't know the answer. And I'm sure I'm consuming stuff that I should not. It's still to this day, right? I mean, but what I did is I changed my diet immediately when I stopped drinking. As soon as I was diagnosed, I haven't had a drink since, right? But I've seen the effect. I've seen the weight loss on me. Like when we talk about touring and the times in which I eat, I've changed that. I try to make sure I'm eating at
certain
times a day, and I try to make sure that I'm actually functional. My daughter's always talked to me like, "Oh, you're going to the gym again?" Yeah, I got you, because they're 10 and 6. I have less years ahead of me than I have behind me, right? So I got to make it to some point in their lives where they're seeing milestones. I can't check out at 70. Mm-hmm. That's a bad rap. I got to try to make it to 80, 90 to try to see full life here. Mm-hmm. So I think if we can, and another thing that I think people don't recognize is water intake. I think we really do need to start making sure people drink more water.
You know what's crazy about that statement? I literally have always been under the pretense in my mind that whatever I put in my body that I know is not right, I got to drink, especially alcohol.
Yeah,
if I'm drinking, I'm drinking triple the amount of water after it.
What's so funny about that is that's my MO. That's why I work out in the evening.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I work in the evening because I'm like, okay, whatever I did in the day, by 6 o'clock, I know what I did, so then I go hit the gym, and I know how hard I need to hit the gym based on my debauchery. That's how I used to live my life. so now it's like, I have less debauchery, but that was my MO. Like, okay, go to the gym and burn off whatever you've been doing. Yeah.
Jordan, what are some of the scientific methods that you've learned in your studies? Because there has to be like a program, right? You knowing what what encourages cancer as far as, the cells and how they grow. Like, what are some of the scientific things that we could pay attention to help not get it, first and foremost?
To be honest with you, I don't think it's that scientific at all, right? Mm-hmm. So from the stuff that I've looked at, a lot of illness comes from stress, right? So stress management. Right,
facts. You see this, Gray?
Yeah,
this is new.
So that's what I'm saying. Is you're not supposed to be in fight or flight your entire life, right? You're not supposed to have your cortisol. Like nothing's supposed to be out of balance.
Yeah.
So I think what I don't want to have happen is I don't want it to get to where everybody overcomplicates. There's a scientific formula. I think, to be honest with you, there is some genetic plays where you kind of luck of the draw. Some people are more susceptible than others.
Correct.
But I think if you do the right things with regards to getting your sleep, getting your food we get back to this. Food is not food anymore.
Yeah.
If it's got 9 syllables, why are we eating that? Right?
Yeah.
So what happened to just meat, carrots, milk, eggs? But now if you read the back of a label of something, it's like, we probably shouldn't be eating that.
Yeah, preposterone,
exactly.
2274.
You understand what I'm saying?
But when you tapped in on stress, I think one of the things that we also have to remember is that we find ourselves in conversations and arguing about things that we don't need to.
Yep.
Right? There's a lot of things that are happening in our lives that are not necessarily what we are here on this planet to do. We're chasing things that are not normal. We're chasing an ideology that's not necessarily real, right? And so I think that if we can find ourselves learning how to master ourselves in a different manner and put that focus somewhere in there, you find yourself in a better place. Like the rest, like we've been talking about earlier.
Crucial.
Just finding ways to meditation.
Team no sleep is not a real thing.
It's not. Like just meditation, just really being able to figure out how to sit still enough to know what's going on inside your body is helpful. And not to take over, but I'm saying the
take
fact
over.
that
you paid us all to be here.
The fact that I felt that tingling in my arm, how many times do we feel something in our body and we ignore it?
Yep.
How many times you get an ache and you're like, I'm fine, you keep it going. You have a little migraine, you ignore it. Whatever it may be, a little tingling in your finger. Like these things, your body's telling you something every time. But we just need to sit still enough and think about how we want to proceed.
No, I wanted to talk about that too, because I think it's the fear of flight, right? Like, you saying just now a tingle. Like I have this little thing in my hand, but it's because I wear these bracelets that I think is, you know what I mean? Never felt it until like now, but I'm gonna go check out my hand because,
you should.
I think there's a fear too, right? We as black men, we're, colonoscopies, all the things that we're supposed to, and we're doing them. I'm blessed to have a wife for 27 years married this October, and she's helped me, you know what I'm saying, like get in front of all that. But I think fear is a big thing. I don't want you to speak to the fear because you've actually been through it.
Well, one of the things that I'll speak to is one of the reasons we're doing the summit is David Jolicoeur. When I was, September 24th was my birthday, I was with Dave and the guys in De La at the Gorilla show in LA. And we were singing happy birthday. Smiles and I have the same birthday, who's the De La's road manager. And I didn't tell the guys I was sick. So come January, I felt bad that I didn't let them know. And they were just, we were just talking. So I called Dave, and he was just like, bro, you didn't tell me, like, why? Like, was having this conversation. And we just talked about fear. And he was talking about the fact that he had fear that stopped him from getting a surgery that would have actually changed his life a bit. He didn't want to go and get a heart surgery, so he was wearing an external monitor, right? And these conversations, I was like, we need to hold each other accountable. We need to be accountable. He's like, yeah. And then Dave passed away, right? And it hurt. It hurt. Like, I don't think I've cried so much at that moment. But it was like, it told me something, that if I don't challenge you to do right, if I don't say to you, hey man, like you said, go get checked out, or you said as soon as you said something about your finger, yeah, get it checked out. What does it cost you to know you're okay? Like, why not? Yeah. We absolutely duck and dive things, but like we were saying at the earlier panel, but we'll spend money on something else. When y'all were talking about the sleep, the mattress and stuff, I was one of those people. I got a new mattress last year.
The mattress thing helped you,
bro. But I was sleeping on the same mattress for who knows how long. Like, what are you talking? Like, we don't think about these things. We ignore them. But my back was messing with me.
And it's a part of your actual mental wellness and health. Yeah.
We gotta stop. Like I said, be still. Think about what you're experiencing, what your body's telling you, and actually act on it.
Yeah, and I think the prevention is a big thing, right? Yep. It's almost like it's a myth that cancer prevention is a myth, and it's passed down through your family and it's genetics. Yeah. But again, the way this food is showing up, the way that we don't know what these chemtrails are. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm a conspiracy theorist. Yeah. But these are real things, right? And they're affecting us clearly.
Yeah, well, like for men, prostate cancer is a huge killer for men, right? But you can catch polyps like 15 years before it's even a problem.
100%.
But you're not getting checked, right? So that's the thing, is that it's a weird thing to talk about. Nobody wants to go to prostate exam. I get it, but at the same, I think it's the truest show of strength to be vulnerable, right? And then the thing is as men, we're supposed to provide, protect, and serve.
Yeah.
Right? Well, if you're dead, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's if you don't want to do it for yourself, do it for your family, do it for everybody else. But that's the thing too, is this was explained to me when I was a kid, is they were like, we'll give you your favorite car, right? Whatever car you want, you can have it. But it's the last car you're going to have until you die. How would you treat it? You'd be out there waxing every inch of it. Well, you've only got one body, right? One mind. How do you treat it?
And you would also probably get the Carfax.
Yep.
Right? Like another thing that I think we don't do is in our culture is think about what's hereditary as well. Like some people, like women who have like with those BRCA2 genes and things those are genetically dispositioned for cancer, people like that. But you can find those things out early. If you have this in your family, if you do the things to test yourself along the way early enough, you can be preventative towards these things.
Yep. Absolutely. And I think because my family has the history of polyps, I started getting colonoscopies in my 40s versus waiting to my 50s.
Smart man.
And a great poet once said, I don't know who the poet was, knowing is half the battle. And that's what we should probably lean into. But before we leave today, I want to give you both an opportunity. You first, Corey, as a cancer survivor, just some of the things that you learned and would encourage someone to look for and plan for in the event of?
I think it's very simple. I think I would say take the time out and get checked. Like, find a general practitioner that you trust and actually have a regular scheduled visit with your doctor. I'm not saying you need to trust Western medicine or trust holistic, but just find someone that you can look eye to eye and speak candidly about what you're experiencing. and feeling, like mental, spiritual. Like I speak to my therapist every Tuesday at 12 o'clock. Don't miss a beat, even if it's on Zoom, right? Because I'm telling you, the stress is what got me to go see my GP, which got me to go get the MRI, which got me to recognize that I had thyroid cancer. It was a process. So just, try to build a support system. Yeah.
Awesome. Jordan?
Well, like for me, I'm going to reiterate what his point is. You got to go get tested, right? Mm-hmm. So if you have to know what's going on. You have to be willing to be vulnerable to make sure you get these tests. I would recommend, going to Walmart, going to CVS, getting a blood pressure cuff. Just keep an eye on your blood pressure. Like, you need to know where you're at. So one of the biggest killers is kidney disease. That comes from high blood pressure, and that's years of high blood pressure, right? So get your blood pressure checked. Do blood work at least twice a year, right? If you can remember to get the oil changed in your car, you can remember to get blood work, and then find a physician that you trust to, like I said, the body has the mechanisms to protect itself, but we keep getting in its way with the stuff that we're eating. We're not sleeping. Like we're asking so much of our body, but we're not giving it what it needs, right? Rest, nutrients. We're giving it alcohol, no sleep, stress. Because we're trying to keep up with everybody else to where it's at the end of the day, it's what's killing us. Yeah. We have to take the time to just protect ourselves, right? So invest in yourself.
Absolutely. So Jordan Persglove, we appreciate your support with this event.
Thank you for
Corey Smith, we appreciate you and Daylight for putting this together. I see it being the biggest conference in the world, and we wish you all good health. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.